All right, Coach. Obviously, you've had this whole week off here to kind of get prepared for this big matchup this weekend. But let's kind of first look back to what happened this last weekend. Kind of feels like your team's kind of hitting its stride. Four straight wins, a big win over Coker here on Saturday. So when you look back on that game, did you see another evolution for this young team?
Yeah, I think steps forward. Baby steps this time. I think we've been more committed, and that's kind of helped us in every area. When you look at preparation and the guys' attention in film, their effort in terms of vitamins, practices have been a little crisper. Everything starts with commitment, and I think guys have been more committed, and they're seeing the fruits of that in terms of their performances. So it's about understanding. You derive confidence from the fact that, hey, if we prepare well and are focused and locked in and go out and compete and play together, we're a pretty good basketball team. And I thought both games last week, playing two solid conference opponents, Carson Newman, obviously with all the rivalry game, and then a good Coker team that's come off a good win over Limestone. Thought our guys really played at a high level in both games, and you saw strides relative to the things. I mean, shot making is important, and shots went in, which is great. But I'm more concerned with the small battles inside the game, and I think we're doing a much better job of trying to control those things. And then I was again pleased with the way we prepared for both those games, much better than we were early in the year in terms of guys understanding the level they have to play to and how good you got to be to have any chance to have success in this league or in college basketball in general.
7 games in, obviously you knew it was going to take some time to kind of figure out what kind of team you were and what it was going to take for you guys to be successful. Do you think that's starting to come clearer now?
Yeah, I think we're in a much different place. I mean, there's when you have so many new pieces, I think there's a lot of variables, and we're starting to kind of figure it out. We're getting a little bit more consistent in terms of our rotation and in terms of guys' performances. We always say most important ability is dependability, and early in the year we were kind of all over the map in terms of performance and probably our rotations. And we've made a lot of changes in the last few weeks. That opening weekend in Aiken, Ricky Clark was redshirting, and then a couple weeks later he's guarding Khalil Halls and starting, and and Cavassier was our last guy off the bench against Clayton State, and now he's starting as a freshman, and those guys are true freshmen getting significant minutes. And Anthony Brown, we talked about 4 minutes against Christian Brothers, and I thought really struggled. Had 1 assist the first 3 games total, and last 4 he's got 27 assists, and his level of play. And I think Scoot's gotten more comfortable in terms of what his role is and what he needs to do, and trying to certainly be aggressive and efficient and just make the right play and compete his butt off, and he's doing all those things. So there's been a lot of growth and a lot of change. I think we have a better idea of who we are, and our rotations are more set, and we're still playing more guys than we have, and we're gonna hopefully have to integrate one more guy back once we get Diamante Brown back, hopefully soon, and that'll be one more guy that we think can really help us and is a big that will hopefully impact us in a positive way. But we may just have a deeper team than we've had in previous years. So you may see a 10-man rotation where last year it was really 7. Year before was 7 or 8. So this year we may be a little bit deeper than we've been in previous years. We have to just utilize that depth and got some good young guys that are playing well off the bench, like Julius Brown and on down the list.
Well, Saturday, so now this much anticipated matchup, it was obviously spotlighted by the Division II men's basketball kind of writers, and against Queens, a rematch of the SAC title match last year and the Southeast Regional Championship, which is that's actually been the matchup the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. Obviously couldn't be 2 different teams than you were last year, though. Both of you lose 4 stars from last year's team, but both of you sitting at 2-0 in conference play. So talk about Saturday's matchup.
Well, it's obviously we knew going into the year when I was picking the league, I picked Queens to win it. Just Bart's built an outstanding program. They do a great job recruiting. They have outstanding talent. They coach them very well. They're solid offensively. Their numbers, I think, shoot about 51%, 44% from 3. They're sound defensively. Knew they had 3 guys back that had played in the Final Four team and that were major contributors. Daniel Carr, Sean Willett, Louis Diankolu. They've had a guy in Van Turner that's maybe I haven't seen Haskins yet from Wingate, maybe the best shooter in the league. And so they've got a bunch of the pieces that are really complementary, but are really doing a nice job of complementing those big 4. And those 4 are outstanding, and then they've got great depth. So kind of knew going in that I expect them to be really good, and they are. They're a top 20 team, and it'll take a great effort for us to have any chance to have success down there on Saturday. As you said, completely different iterations. It's been a rivalry over the last few years because of both teams been really good, and we played a lot of high stakes games, and but that first iteration when they were really good, when you look at it, was more like Rob Lewis and Sean Morgan and Marquise Rankin and Daniel Camps, and this last group really with Agassi and Davis and Alexander Withers. So this is a totally different iteration of that team, and obviously same for us. But I think our guys going in it's not going to be from a rivalry standpoint, but I think they'll walk in with great respect for Queens on two accounts. One, all they got to do is watch film and understand that, man, they have really good players and they play very well together. It's an outstanding basketball team. And then two, we've talked about, our admiration for programs that are able to have consistent, high-level, sustained success. And you look at Queens the last 4 years, they've been outstanding. And so and they've got another great team this year. So I think our guys will go in with the utmost respect, and hopefully we'll prepare appropriately and be ready to go on Saturday. It's a great test for us. We've talked about competition is a mirror. And the better the team, the truer reflection you get of yourself, and so we'll get a very true reflection of who we are Saturday at 4. We've played some really good teams on the road, USC Aiken and Christian Brothers, and we weren't a very good team at those times we played them. I mean, credit to them, both those teams are outstanding. We weren't very good. We'll see if we've grown, because we're going to be playing a really good team in what should be a fantastic environment Saturday at 4.
And you already kind of talked about this just now, but a ranked team, probably the best team you've played this year on the road. Obviously, Queens is responsible for the program's last regular season SAC loss in 2017 up there in Charlotte. So do you feel like this weekend and Saturday's matchup is another kind of watershed moment for this program, this team's development?
Yeah, I mean, I think, we'll see if we've grown. It's a test to see, where we are. I don't think anything's going to be, won or lost from a league standpoint or anything. Season's not going to be over either way, Saturday after the game. But you certainly want to see if we've improved, and you certainly want to, it'll be a measuring stick to see if we've grown, because I agree. I think they're the best team we've played, and we're having to play them away from home. We haven't played well away from home, and I don't subscribe to the theory that, you shouldn't be any different. Playing the road only affects you if it affects you, right? And I know we have a younger team, and maybe there's some comforts at home and all that, but to me, we've struggled on the road for two reasons. One, we've played really good teams, and at the time we played those really good teams, we were not a very good team, which is not a recipe for success. I don't know. We'll see. Queens is the best team we've played. We'll see if we're up to the challenge. I'm excited to see where we are, to see our young guys in that type of environment against that type of team, and we'll leave there with a great evaluation, win or lose, in terms of who we are, where we're going, and what we got to do moving forward. But you can't win a league in November, December, but you can lose a league in November and December, right? I mean, we play 5 or 6, whatever it is, league games before Christmas, and so we've taken care of our first 2, but this will be a different challenge for us, and I'm interested to see how we respond.
Outside of just the normal things that your program does that makes your team successful, what is it going to kind of take? What are the keys to success on Saturday?
We just have to play a complete game on both ends of the floor. I think Queens is good all the way around. When you're playing an elite team like that, the line is really high, and we've got to have great preparation. We've got to go in and be prepared to play our best game. That's always the standard here we talk about, is trying to play our best every single time we take the floor, regardless of opponent. But Queens is good enough. We can play our best, and it may not be enough. I mean, who knows? We'll see. But it'll take a complete game. We gotta do a great job defensively. We've talked about with this group. We got to commit to being great defensively and make the next right play. And we feel like if we commit to those two things, then a lot of the results will take care of themselves. We have a lot of good players. We can get into their youth and how young we are and all that, and there's a lot of validity to that. But young or not, we have talent and they're hungry, and I think they're working hard. They're trying to make the necessary improvements to become the very best possible version of themselves. And Saturday will be a litmus test, kind of see where we're at. We'll get a gauge, and I'm sure there'll be a lot moving forward, whatever the result, that we'll be able to go back and learn from to where we can improve and things we're doing well. And then we just, like we've talked about, when we lost 2 in a row or we won 4 in a row, the thing is the same. The go back in, get to work, get better, and try to prepare to play your best the very next time you take the floor. So we'll have to be at our absolute apex to have a chance on Saturday, but I think our guys are looking forward to the challenge. We understand how good they are, and looking forward to what should be a great environment against a great team, and we'll see how it turns out.